what's going on is I'm attracting, doing well, attracting, but I'm having some distraction. Like things just go away, disappear. Like a wallet, like a phone, a coat, and a case of paper towels. I mean, meaningless things. I had a booklet of car washes, and I had a real treasure. I had the outside bag from a Crown Royal bottle. I loved that bag, and I put my change in it, and I'd set it right there beside my seat in my car. And you need to know I live in the country, so people don't, I don't live next door to somebody. So there's nobody wandering the property. These things are just gone. And
well, now you said something that we want to focus on. You said meaningless things.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
So if they're meaningless, isn't it just as well that they go away?
Well, that's where I came to after I was dealing with what was going on. Now, this is in the presence of other people.
But you see, you're the perfect person for us to have this conversation with, because you're so manifestation oriented. Here we are wanting to build bridges to help you to understand that there's this vortex. It must seem odd to those of you who are trying to explain it to your family and friends. Yeah, there's this man who calls his wife Abraham, and she must be a schizophrenic, because she refers to herself as we, and she makes this big circle on the floor and calls it a vortex and insists that everything we want is in it. But we do this because we are wanting to help you to bridge into this vibrational world that you really are more of a part of than you recognize. Your physical, tangible, manifestational world has made you misunderstand what's really going on. So when you begin to acknowledge that you are vibration, and you begin to experience the leverage of true vibration, then things of a usual manifestational nature the lines begin to blur, and you begin to accept more that you are a creator who is unlimited. You just have to look at things like earning power and notice the huge difference in the earning power from action and the earning power from alignment with vibration. In other words, you look into the economics of your world, even into your stock market world, even to the intangibles, and so many people don't understand them. And we say, it's time for you to accept the intangibles in your physical world and acknowledge that you are vibrational beings who are lining up with the feeling of the intangibles. Because when you line up with the feeling of the intangibles, which means you take the manifestation out of the equation, now you're free, now you're unlimited. And it's our promise to you. The manifestation, the tangibles, will show themselves to you. They will demonstrate to you where you're at.
Well, I attribute where I'm at to focusing on the journey, not on the manifestation. The manifestation's fun.
Well, those are very good words, but not implied fully in the rhetoric that you offered to us before you made that statement. In other words, those are words that you are offering, but is it really what you believe?
Well, and that is what I'm wondering about. These little events are, to me, an anomaly.
And that's our point. When they become normal, then you will be the creator you were born to be.
You mean the going away of things?
We mean when you accept that you are a vibrational being and that it is your focusing of things into being. You used some words. You said, I get distracted. I'm not holding things in focus. And that's the whole point of this conversation. You have to hold something in focus and practice the vibration of something in focus long enough for it to come into your reality. And when things start disappearing from your reality, it means that they are diffused from your focus. Now, we know this feels out there, but because you live in a world where suddenly if everything on this table disappeared, we would make headlines, wouldn't we? Unless there was a tremendous sleight of hand going on. But it's the focusing of things. Every word that we have offered from this platform here today is about focusing yourself into alignment with what's in your vortex. And sometimes what happens as we visit with our physical friends is that you have one foot in this vortexual world, you have this one foot in this inner world, you conceptually get it, you accept that there is vibration going on, and you're beginning to acknowledge that your emotions play a big part in your acknowledgement of it. But most people, while they have one toe in this vibrational world, they have the other foot firmly planted in the world of reality. And that really is what is holding you back, because it's the taking score of what is and the incessant vibrational attachment to what is that prevents or disallows the movement into more. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, these are the comments that we would begin making to ourselves. We would say, I must be moving into an understanding of vibration, because the physical world that I've always seen as stable and structured and material and reality is beginning to shift for me just a little bit. I'm beginning to notice that my attention to subjects is having an effect on how close they stay into my experience. All of you have this experience. You walk into a room, you have something in your hand, and suddenly you don't know where you put it. Esther just loves it when she's in a room by herself, because if she's not in a room by herself, Jerry gets the blame for everything that she can't find. Did you take my phone? Do you have my keys? Do you know where my purse is? In other words,
where's my wallet, Jerry? I knew there was somebody.
But when you know you were the only one that is there, then you acknowledge that there is something going on, and we want to take it beyond an understanding that in an unconscious moment you just moved it somewhere and put it somewhere. We want to take it beyond that. We want you to accept that the universe is constantly moving things into being, and in the same way that this earth is now spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, we want you to understand that you have the ability to focus things into being too. And if you don't get too deliberately hung up on the specifics of how it is coming about, all kinds of amazing things will begin to happen in your experience.
What I concluded ultimately, obviously you have the upsettedness of something being gone and you can't explain it. And you're the only one there, like you say. And
but what are 10 good things about that? What are 10 good things?
10 good things. Well, I have one good thing. Maybe not 10, but what I concluded was the loss of those things, which it appeared to be something. Well,
now you're getting too carried. You're not answering the question, and you're not receiving the benefit of the question. Because you're speculating too much, and then you're getting all bogged down in the muck and mire of wondering about where or when. 10 good things about my physical world beginning to demanifest around me is that, one, I am beginning to acknowledge that I am a conscious, deliberate creator. Yes. Another thing is that I'm beginning to recognize that the laws of the universe are more powerful than anything that I have understood before. Mm-hmm. Next, I'm beginning to understand the benefit of the power of my focus. And if I can detach my attention to something, if there are physical things that are actually beginning to remove themselves from my experience, then certainly I can leave behind habits that I don't want, or relationships that I don't want, or thoughts that are full of resistance that I don't want. It's my lack of attention to them that is causing them to begin to fade away. I'm beginning to believe, we're speaking from your point of view, again, looking for these 10 good things. I'm beginning to understand that everything comes into structure and focus because of attention to it. And I'm beginning to discover the power of my own mind. And these are just the first steps in beginning to understand this. Focus is everything. Vibration is everything, you see. Scientists have held themselves back from the beginning of their first scientific experiment because they feel it necessary to document the what isness to the point that they don't make the jump to the next what could be. In other words, they are so tenacious about documenting what is that they don't allow the possibilities of what they would really prefer. where if they could let go of that, what they prefer would come into being, and then they could examine it and explain after the fact how it got there, you see. And that's really what this conversation is about.
Yes, exactly. I concluded that all these things were a manifestation of my abundance. That's what, in other words, not caring about them, disregarding them, just moving forward in
well, you keep wanting to bring the topic back to abundance because lack of cash flow or lack of abundance is what is stuck in your vibrational craw. And so it's sort of there, it's sort of radiating all around there. And what the universe is trying to say to you is, we'd like to distract you with this and distract you with this and distract you with this. We'd like you to understand that the rules of the game that you've been defining as the accurate rules of the game aren't the accurate rules of the game at all. We would like to start helping you to defy the logic that you have concluded to understand that there's a much bigger picture going on. That's what's happening here.
That's really big.
And so as we explain this to you, then you keep going back and explaining it again through the cash thing, you see. Your vortex is pregnant with a fortune, you see. It is, we're not just trying to impress you by giving you information that you want to hear. We never speak that which is not. It is pregnant with the abundance that you are seeking. You just have to relax and accept that it's there and watch for the evidence of it in new ways. In other words, the fairies of the universe, your inner being, are saying to you, it's not what you think, it's not what you think, it's not what you think, it's not what you think. And then you say, well, I've concluded. And then you have another experience. It's not what you think, it's not how you've been looking at it, it's not that way. And you say, well, then I've concluded this. And we say, stop concluding so much. Stop concluding. Stop trying to accurately define it all. Start saying, hey, it's open-ended. I really don't know what's possible. I'm beginning to accept that all things are possible. I hear that my vortex is pregnant with all kinds of wonderful experiences for me and all kinds of manifestational abundance for me. I hear that. I'm open to the universe yielding it to me in whatever quirky, unquirky, normal, not normal. I am willing for it to flow to me in whatever way it can. I'm open, and I'm now understanding that things have never been as I have thought they are, and I'm open to discover how things really are.
I get it. That's the best. I'll go. But I hope that pregnancy doesn't turn into a teenager, you know?
You're more trouble than you're worth. Of course, that is never true, and we would never say it to someone who didn't know otherwise. Now what? Yes. Creation is really about perception. And perception is about vibration. And vibration is about attraction. So what you perceive really is the reality that you are living. But you will have the ability to alter your perception much more quickly and much more fantastically than you've been giving yourself credit. You've been holding so closely to the manifested reality that you have created limited experiences.